Are you an overthinker like me? Do you find yourself stuck in loops of overthinking or replaying scenarios, or you're still going through this decision in detail? Or you lie in bed and you think and think and think and think about what you want to do and what you could have done differently. Maybe next time you'll do it this way, but the immediate actions are not quite clear because you're still stuck in the cycle. Well, I'm a business owner. I work. I have a lot of responsibilities professionally, personally. I'm a caregiver, but I'm also a woman, and I have a female brain. And my female brain tends to overthink. And if you have a female brain, yours probably does too. But there's actually some biology behind this, specifically the role of the corpus callosum, which is a dense nerve fiber bridge that connects the brain's left and right hemispheres. And this is different in the female brain and the male brain. In men, the structure is often less dense but more lateralized, so hemispheres kind of function independently. Whereas in the typical female brain, this is thicker, more developed, and there's more connections between the left and right hemispheres. So this could be why women tend to integrate emotional and analytical information more fluidly, or task switch a little bit differently. But this also can mean a higher vulnerability to overthinking, rumination, and emotional looping, especially when we're under distress. Now, I need my female brain to help me and not put me at a disadvantage, especially at work, especially when I'm running a business. Now, the good thing is there's something I can do about this, and there's something you can do about this if you are also an overthinker. And in this episode, we're doing things a little bit differently because I want to tell you exactly what I did to pull myself out of this the other day. I'm going to read exactly what I read. And I really hope that when you find yourself in this situation of overthinking next, maybe you can try what I did and pull yourself out so that you are using your brain to help you and not keep you stuck in the loops. So, I am tired at this point. It's a couple days ago. And I'm tired. I'm a little under the weather. I have a lot of tasks to finish at once. So I'm already pretty low on marbles. And a couple of the things I had been thinking about on my to-do list, I sort of started to get stuck in the cycle of how I'm going to do them, what needs to be done first. They're prioritized very well. It's not that. It's now taking the action towards the next things to help get closer to finishing them. And at night, when I'm almost completely out of marbles, I'm now thinking about what I could have done to cross this one off. Or, well, I said this in an email. Does this make sense? Do I need to go through this again? All of this kind of thinking, overthinking. And at some point, I thought, this is exhausting. I'm not sleeping. I need to do something about this. And I told myself, I journaled first. And I told myself, okay, I'm going to give myself 5 minutes to try and settle my brain first. And I tried to index, and it wasn't a good time. Tried to look at these thoughts, but when I did, and I went back to the journal after those 5 minutes, I wrote down, I will reread How to Stop Overthinking. which is an article I read, maybe almost a year ago on our solutions manual. And I couldn't recall exactly what it would say, word for word, but I thought, okay, there's so many things written and there's so many things I've read that tell you what to do when you're overthinking, but I've never actually pulled them out when I am, because it's so hard to pull myself out of this. But I wrote it down and I made the commitment to at least do that first. So I went onto the manual, I searched for overthinking, and I found it, and I read it, and I started implementing it right away. And I took action, and it was late at night, but I did. And I did the next day, and I did the next day, and the day after that, and the day after that, and it's still going. So my solution for me at the time was, one, label my thoughts, not attach any of my emotions to them. Not, oh, you're overthinking again, you're better than this, whatever the negativity comes in, whatever those thoughts are. And I caught myself doing this. I pulled out the solutions manual that has the answers for me and for you, and I read it, and I did it, and it helped. Sometimes you just need that accountability or that resource or that one sentence that helps you, especially if you're overthinking. So what I'd like to do is read you this article. I will start it off and Maciek can finish it. But we will put the link here if you'd like to read it again and again. And let us know your thoughts. But hopefully not after overthinking. So this is the Solutions Manual, Surgeon's Guide to Overthinking. At any given moment, there's an infinite amount of things that you could be doing. However, you can only do one thing at a time. Overthinking will strip you of happiness and paralyze your decisions. During any given period, our minds cycle through a broad and diverse range of thoughts and emotions. One of the most significant skills you can learn in life is how to manage the extensive mental content that flows through your mind at all times. Due to the mind's rapidly shifting nature, it's easy to fall into analysis paralysis or overthinking, especially without training in mental management and cognitive performance. Paradoxically, the more rich your inner dialogue is, and the more intelligent you are, the harder it might be not to feel overwhelmed by your own thoughts. Your brain can automatically imagine thousands of alternative realities. Think about it. You wouldn't like to be operated on by a surgeon who thinks too much or for too long before making a decision. It could cost you your life. I have learned how to make accurate, reliable, and difficult decisions, even in situations when information was scarce, no option was ideal, and under tremendous time constraints. This post will teach you the techniques you need to stop overthinking and better organize your mind to live the life you want. Analysis paralysis. You must be able to recognize that everything in life can be interpreted subjectively. Most things don't have any inherent meaning. We assign meaning based on their impact on us. For most of our decisions, this meaning revolves around avoiding pain and or seeking pleasure. This simple approach was effective in the low information environments of our ancestors. However, it doesn't work well in today's overstimulated culture. Analysis paralysis occurs when you delay action or not act at all in the face of too much information. Overwhelmed by choices, it might be very hard to avoid the pain of making the wrong decision. The impact of overthinking. Anxiety. At any given moment, there are countless activities you could be engaging in. Reading a book, going for a run, meditating, taking a shower, surfing the internet, going on a date, or exercising. Despite the vast array of options, you can only do one thing at a time. While you may be able to do two things at the same time, for example, chew gum and ride an elevator, you can't simultaneously walk outdoors and be taking a shower. Though, with some creativity, you might be able to manage it. This is not the best use of your time. By choosing to engage in one activity, you temporarily or permanently close the door on all other possible alternatives. This concept is known as the law of the excluded alternative. Understanding this law is crucial for effective time management, and without acknowledging it, people often fall into the trap of overthinking, mistakenly believing that continuously mulling over options will lead to a better decision. This can lead to significant anxiety, especially when faced with major life choices, such as moving to a new place or changing careers. The underlying reason for this anxiety is the unconscious search for something better. Historically, seeking better options was crucial for survival in resource-scarce environments. The quest for improvement ensured that our ancestors found more food, safer shelters, and better opportunities for survival. This evolutionary drive persists today, influencing our decision-making processes. However, in modern times, the pursuit of better can often be an illusion. The paradox of choice suggests that having too many options can lead to dissatisfaction and decision paralysis. Instead of enhancing our lives, the relentless search for the best option can prevent us from making any decision at all, which causes distress and anxiety. The better illusion. It's easy to believe that better is always out there. This isn't about optimization or self-improvement, but about acquiring something perceived as superior. The idea that you can always find a better partner, a better job, or a better anything is pervasive. In a world with billions of people, the notion of endless resources for better is tempting. However, spending your life chasing after better or new can become a game of diminishing returns. While searching for better, you lose the most precious resource you have: time. This pursuit can consume your life, leading to constant dissatisfaction as each new acquisition quickly loses its allure. And overthinking compounds this problem by focusing excessively on potential cause and effect relationships instead of appreciating and working with what you have in the present moment. This mental habit can lead to analysis paralysis, where the fear of making the wrong choice prevents you from making any decision at all. Research has shown that overthinking can lead to increased anxiety and depression, further detracting from one's ability to enjoy life and make effective decisions. The belief that better is always out there can also lead to perpetual dissatisfaction. Studies in psychology suggest that constantly seeking more or better options can prevent people from feeling content with their current circumstances. This relentless pursuit can erode well-being and create a perpetual perception of lack, despite the abundance surrounding us. Lost opportunities, wasted potential. Are there aspects of your life that you could optimize right now? Absolutely. Many people are engaged in activities that, if done correctly, could significantly enhance their happiness or status. By concentrating on the crucial 20% of activities, you can achieve 80% of the desired improvement, a concept known as the Pareto principle. However, when overthinking, you're not focused on extracting the maximum value from your current actions. Instead, you're constantly searching for something new or different, including things like different information, opinion, data, alternative options, etc. Research shows that spreading attention across too many tasks reduces efficiency and effectiveness, leading to lower overall satisfaction. Furthermore, due to delays in acting, it typically leads to lost opportunities and further resentment, solidifying your perception of not being a good decision maker. These negative effects can seem daunting. The anxiety and indecision associated with overthinking can create a cycle of stress and missed opportunities. It's important to recognize these patterns and take steps to prevent them. The most effective strategy is to prioritize and limit your choices. Choose what truly matters, and then focus and commit to it in the long term. Don't be tempted to change your goals or priorities when things get difficult. Having a clear list of lifelong priorities also makes it easy and clear of what to say no to at all times. Setting clearer interim goals and deadlines can also help, as can practicing mindfulness to stay present and reduce overthinking. Preventing overthinking. Completely eliminating overthinking is challenging since the mind naturally tends to contemplate and evaluate choices. However, you can still take effective actions to manage and reduce overthinking. Here are ways to do that. 1. Set long-term priorities. Understand why you are doing something and write it down. Putting your thoughts on paper helps solidify your intentions and reasons. If you can't articulate a clear reason for an action, so clear that even a 5-year-old would understand it, then you likely shouldn't be doing it. This practice can save you a significant amount of time wasted on overthinking and analysis paralysis.
Exercise 1. Before you continue, please make sure that you read my previous post on procrastination. Now, get a pen and a blank piece of paper. Write down 10 activities that you spend the most time on each day. While you're doing it, ask yourself, why do you do them? Be honest with yourself and make sure that you write all the answers down.
2. Limit your choices. Too many options can lead to decision fatigue and overthinking. Simplify your choices to make decision-making easier.
Exercise 2. For 1 week, limit your choices in daily decision making, such as what to eat or what you're going to wear on that day. Pay very close attention how this impacts your thinking, mental energy levels, stress levels, and your ability to think or make decisions. Here are a few examples. Try wearing the same combination of clothing each day, or eat the same type of meal every day. Or you can ask someone to make that choice for you. If you go to a restaurant or a cafe, you can simply go with the waiter's recommendations, even if you would normally choose something else. 3. Focus on doing. With overthinking and analysis paralysis, it is very easy to escape into the realm of theory or mental abstraction. Now, the problem is that results happen in real world, not in your head. So many people overemphasize the thinking part of planning. It's very easy to read a book. It's much harder to implement the knowledge in that book. It is very easy to go to school and learn. It is much harder to be the best in any given field. Doing is hard because when you do something, all of your senses are involved and there is no room to hide when you do things. For example, during a big basketball game, the person who hasn't put in the practice, their work will be immediately exposed because there is nowhere to hide. So here's a tip. Rather than thinking, analyzing, or researching, or writing what to do, try to actually create a very brief plan of actions and immediately jump into executing the plan. So start doing things as soon as possible. You don't have to be great on the first attempt. You just need to course correct as new experience, new information, and new reflections appear after you take action. Focus on progress and on improvement over time, and do not aim for perfection. 4. Limit your information intake. Constantly seeking more information, researching new information, looking for different options only fuels overthinking. Limit your research and make decisions with the information you already have. The sooner, the better. A good idea is to set yourself a very strict time limit for gathering information before taking an action. For example, you can give yourself 10 or 20 minutes before you act. Stick to it. Avoid seeking any additional data once your time is up. Make the step or decision first, and let that decision and the outcomes of the action inform your next step. 5. Speak to someone who is a natural decision maker. Some people are born with certain traits, and for some people, decision making is an intuitive skill. Talk to someone you trust who you already know is good or naturally skilled at decision making. They can provide you with tremendous clarity and perspective that you might not otherwise have. It will help you to reduce overthinking. If you commit to taking an action after receiving an advice, you will be unstoppable. By implementing these 5 strategies, you can take proactive steps to manage your overthinking and lead a more focused and purposeful life. The good news is that as you keep practicing doing, over time this will become your second nature. And from someone who overthinks, you'll become someone who acts. And this is how you can change your life.
So I just want to come back to one paragraph that when I read this on that particular night kind of helped me, since I hadn't read it in a while and it was just put the way that I needed it to be put. I just want to reread and then tell you what I did after. The most effective strategy is to prioritize and limit your choices. Choose what truly matters and then focus and commit to it in the long term. Don't be tempted to change your goals or priorities when things get difficult. Having a clear list of lifelong priorities also makes it easy and clear of what to say no to at all times. Now, I have my list. I know my priorities. I hadn't looked at it in a while, so I reread my list of 5, and I allowed a lot of the thoughts that I had been circulating through to just melt away completely. And just refocus. I also revised my way of thinking about staying in the theory realm. And I didn't stay awake to create a plan of actions that night, but I did commit to taking a few very small actions the next day and executing as close to what I wanted to achieve the next day. Not about perfection, and progress doesn't need to be huge, just a single action. And I took these actions and it moved me forward fast. The other thing is I accepted that if I take an action or if I do something and I not swirl too long, like I can, and it's not for something permanent, there are many actions I could take subsequently that could help or change or influence it in a different way. And if it's not a permanent thing or decision, then there's always room for improvement. There's always room for modification. But if I stay away from doing something and not taking action, that's not helping me or anyone involved. So I reframed this part for myself again, which I've done in the past with help. Reading this in this way for me helped me to do this faster, helped me to do this independently. I had a lot of other reflections I wrote about for myself to recall, but I also rewarded myself for, one, recognizing I was getting stuck in this loop and committing to myself to take small steps to get out of it. And that's something for this female brain to be proud of.
This episode was recorded without overthinking. Just a real story with real solutions to help your brain work with you. Follow us, subscribe, and share with your favorite brain.